Welcome everybody, Star Flag Media.
Yo, yo, yo.
My name is Anthony. You guys might know me as UWA Avenger, UWA the God, all those names that Chris made up last week. Yeah, we're here this week, and of course with my co-host.
Talents 860, aka the talented one,
Ah,
aka Enough Said,
ah.
aka Get Up.
And in Mexico they call him El Talento.
El Talento. Ba-da-bum-bum.
That's right.
Bum, 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 bum. Happy Cinco de Mayo, people.
Oh, that's right. We are going to probably drop this on Cinco de Mayo. So happy Cinco de Mayo
Yep.
to those out there who celebrate that revolution in Mexico, that war that they won. That is not their Independence Day. For a lot of people out there, think it's Mexico
Yeah,
Independence
we
Day.
in America. We
It's not.
celebrate tequila and tacos.
It's not their Independence Day. Most people think it is. But anyway,
Yeah, I thought it was like some Alamo
it's a
type.
battle that they won.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, that makes sense.
That's exactly what it is. So yeah, happy Cinco de Mayo to those out there. And yeah, we're the drunken idiots. Question. You want to get the mic pointed away from me?
Yeah, it's pointed away.
It's not.
It's I'm telling you, it's you good, bro.
Chris is gonna echo. Please do it the way.
You good. You
We
good.
finally got our audio right.
We good. I just wanna all right, boom.
And anyway, we want to just talk about some things that have been going on in media this week.
Yo. Can I say the N-word?
You can say whatever you want.
Nigga. So what the fuck? This Drake and Kendrick shit is like really heating up. So now
it's big.
I wanted to talk about this last week when everything first kind of popped off, but
It really started off with Kendrick and J. Cole.
What you mean?
With the J. Cole apology.
Well,
that's kind of like the beginning of this, and then it when J. Cole apologized, the other people showed up.
Okay, so no,
that's how I saw it.
Yeah, so what happened was, a brief synopsis. Jake, Kendrick Lamar and Drake have been throwing subliminal disses to each other back and forth for a couple of years.
Yeah, no, I know that.
About who's the best. J. Cole decided that, you know what? I'm tired of being a stepchild and I'm the best.
I'm gonna join the party.
So J. Cole started rapping his ass off on everyone's features, just murdering all types of shit. And he said, "Yo, I'm the best." And a lot of people like me was like, "Yo, he's a goat. He's a goat. He's really great at his craft." So then the like that verse came out with Kendrick, and he says, "Fuck a big three. It's just Big Me." So Cole responded, and he had his diss track.
Yeah.
And it didn't go over so well because he said that. Well, so now we're going into personal opinions. So my personal opinion of the Cole diss track, I liked it. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
But when he said that Kendrick Lamar's catalog was trash, and I was like, nah, that's
not everybody's gonna agree with that.
That's not
a tough sell.
Yeah, it. Kendrick, he said your first one was a snooze or whatever, and I was like, Cole,
Everybody
man.
started looking at the
I was like, Cole, I love you, bro, but you don't make the best albums. 14 Forest Hill Drive, whatever that album is called, is a classic. You probably, I give you one in a possible. If we playing spades, you know how to play spades?
I don't.
It's like if we playing spades, I give him one in a possible. Like you will win. You got one classic, and you have another album that's out that's possibly a classic.
Cool for J. Cole.
For J. Cole,
he's got some hits.
We talking that's hits, but albums, classics, nah. So he said it ain't sit right on his soul. He apologized, which was some corny shit to me. But
so the thing about the apology, the apology came without any need for like a reply. It wasn't like Kendrick
Yeah,
replied and
he put his song out on a Friday and he apologized on a Sunday. It
yeah,
was
there
just
was
like,
it was like maybe somebody went up to him and was like, I don't know about what this isn't really going over too well with everybody. Maybe you
yeah.
should just retract that.
So yeah, I think
This is the first time I ever saw a beef get squashed by the same person in less than a day.
yeah, but he said it wasn't feeling right with his soul and blah blah blah.
Some BS reason.
But realistically, I think it's because he knew that he was lying, that his albums were
yeah,
they were good. They were good albums. So now all right, so Cole replied and then apologized and walked himself out the door. And then Drake came out with his song, Drop Push Ups, Drop and Give Me 50. And I remember we were in the group chat, me, you and Cyclone. Yeah, I was excited. I was like, yo, it's like it's finally here. They about to really just
go at
it because
there hasn't been real hip hop beef in a long time.
No, it's the hip hop is too friendly right now, in my opinion. It's way too friendly.
It's still kind of friendly.
It's still friendly, and they're still being friendly with the beefs.
Yep.
They still being friendly with the beefs. The apologizing was friendly, and the jabs, because if I could compare this rap beef today, they're just like jabbing. They're still being nice with their jabs. So on Drop and Give Me 50, Drake is like alluding like, hey, this is not what all I know. I'm still trying to keep it PG. I'm still trying to be nice. And
he's still trying to get the girls to like him.
So it was a nice diss song. It did what it needed to do. But like compared to like our generation,
oh no, yeah, no.
When you put on Ether, the track starts, fuck Jay-Z. I know you ain't talking about me, you. What?
Tupac and Biggie.
Yeah, that's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker.
Right.
So that's how you know who like it, and that song launched the same day as the Source cover.
Hilarious.
With him and Faith.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it. It's a new
that was rough.
I'm getting passionate, guys, so I'm screaming, so the audio is gonna be a little fucked up. I'm sorry. But
we do our best.
Yeah, we're in a new era. So so Jake responded and Kendrick followed up with his song and Euphoria.
Hey, Rick Ross joined in. Kanye dropped the line.
Okay.
Out of nowhere.
So
a lot happened this week, man.
Yeah,
a lot happened.
I skipped over the
Rick Ross.
Yeah.
Rick Ross was good.
Rick Ross was good. I skipped over the Rick Ross and the Kanye. They both were good, but
Kanye out of nowhere, for no reason. But the Rick Ross one to me was like, he's not gonna get a response, but I feel like Rick Ross definitely needs a line in the response because what he did and Kendrick built off of that, in my opinion.
Kendrick also built off of Pusha T. The
reason I say that this specifically was because of the Rick Ross diss. He calls Drake a white boy. How many times in that track?
A lot.
So many times you lose track. He made sure to put in people's head that Drake isn't black, even though Drake is black.
Yeah.
But he just made sure to put that in people's head, and then Euphoria drops.
Yep.
And he says he can't say nigga no more.
Yeah. We don't want to hear you say nigga no more.
And why wouldn't you be able to? Because you're a white boy.
Yeah. So Euphoria drops. And he questions Drake's
hoodness.
His hoodness, his culture.
And we all know that, we all know he grew up cushy. We all know he's a middle class guy from Canada.
Yeah.
And he was a child actor.
But not even that. Like he questions
everything about him.
He questions his culture because don't forget, Pusha T exposed Drake with blackface.
Exactly. Like he wasn't that guy, and then he capitalized on being black.
Yeah. So now
he's black. Now he wants to be hood. Now he wants to be this and that.
Yeah. So now, don't get me wrong. Drake is black. His father's black.
Of course.
His father's like an OG from Houston.
Yeah.
And all of that.
I don't question that, but he's definitely not. He didn't grow up in the hood.
But yeah, he didn't grow
Not
up in the
hood.
hood. He grew up with his mother in Canada and
Child actor.
Toronto and
He's doing
whatever.
well for themselves, and that's fine.
But yeah, so Euphoria dropped, and
Yeah,
at my
Chris,
first,
for the whole week, you were in the group chat because I like Kendrick, and James is a big Kendrick fan.
I like both. I like everyone.
Yeah,
Pause.
but James in particular, and
You like
I
Kendrick?
happen to like Kendrick. But I'm not like a super fan or anything. But I always do enjoy a troll or two.
Yeah, I know.
Um, James, however, legitimately
He likes
likes,
Kendrick.
yeah,
That's his
and
guy.
that's
J. Cole was my guy.
yeah, and you know what? You can be one or the other, and nobody can fault you for that. Now, the whole week though, Chris was going hard with, "Hey, where's Kenny at?"
Yeah.
He hasn't responded
Where's
yet.
Kenny?
Every day it was a "Where's Kenny at?" It was not just once a day either. It was like, I'm gonna give you guys a breakfast, lunch, and dinner reminder
Yeah,
that Kenny
because
didn't respond yet.
James just randomly pop up and be like, here's an odd Drake fact that we all don't know. And I was just like, bro, you telling me all this stuff that you're reading off Twitter, but why didn't Kenny respond? Where's Kenny at? So
I would fuel the fire and be like, you don't punch down.
yeah, and I knew you were trolling, but like,
but it's also funny.
But James never had a reply to why he never said nothing. So
like,
where's he at? Where's his diss track
maybe
at?
he should come out with something. But I guess that's the difference of when you're a craftsman.
Yeah.
When he did finally drop his track, I felt like it was finely tuned.
Yeah.
Probably something he wrote a few times and went over.
Yeah, it was finally tuned. And don't forget Drake's first push-ups, it got leaked. It got leaked with a different
track.
A different track. The music was a little bit different. He changed some words. And I think that kind of diminished a little bit.
I wonder who did that, right? I wonder who.
Yeah, it kind of diminished it.
That's true.
But I've been in the gym now. Well, I've been back in the gym. And
so Diesel.
I put on I'm trying. I put on Rap Caviar in the rap playlist or whatever. And these diss tracks come on. So now I'm working out and I'm hearing these songs.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, Push-Ups is to me it's a good song. It's a diss song.
I thought it was good.
To me it's a solid. I give it an 8. I give it an 8.
If I was gonna grade it, I was gonna give it a B plus.
Okay, I was gonna say it was an 8. And then when I first heard Euphoria, the Kendrick diss, at first I was like, nah, this is not it. I was like, it's good, but it's not it.
There's a lot of layers to this song.
It's a lot of layers. And now the next day, I'm at the gym, I'm working out, and that song comes on. And as I'm working out and I'm listening, and I'm just like, oh, okay. So I thought Kendrick, in my opinion, when I first listened to it, I'm thinking that he's jabbing back at Drake. And I'm like, nah, this is not a Drake. This is not a jab. This is a power jab. It's not a haymaker. It's a power jab.
Yeah, I'm gonna smack you back harder than you smacked me.
Yeah. And I like it. 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 And for those who thinking like I'm just gonna gloss over the AI shit, no, the AI track, I like the AI track that Drake did. Speaking from Tupac's perspective and Snoop Dogg's perspective, I thought it was creative. And there's a video out there with like Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, or The Game, and all of them corrupt, and they're essentially passing Kendrick Lamar the torch for the West Coast. So for Drake to do that, I thought it was creative. Of course, a lot of people got it misconceived that he used AI he used AI to write a Tupac verse. But if you listen to the Tupac verse, you can see like the cadence and all of that. It's really Drake. Drake is just rapping, but the voiceover effect is like an auto tune
It
to
did
be
sound
a
a little bit
Tupac
like that. Yeah, for
to
sure.
be a Tupac voice. So
I
he
think that was on
actually,
purpose.
yeah, it was on purpose. Um, so now,
People love to hate. It's the internet.
yeah, so now Kendrick Lamar also dropped another diss track.
That was
Um,
unexpected.
that was a follow up 4 days after,
Yeah, it was.
and
That one came out of nowhere. I didn't think we were gonna get another this track before a Drake
mhm.
follow up, but no, it was a 1-2 punch.
And this song is also great.
I like the first one a little bit more
I like, look,
because
I like them both. I like
I
all
do like
three
them.
songs.
Yeah, I like, but
I like all four.
yeah, I would say they're all B plus.
Okay, so my grade. So
But I like the hook of you can't say
we
nigga.
don't want to hear you
I
say nigga no more.
I can't get over that. I can't get over that. It's so good. It's
That's
so good.
that might be
It's so good.
that might be one of the catalysts
It's so good.
because the first this song was Metro shut your whole ass up and make some drums, nigga.
Yeah.
And you got people on TikTok at Metro's concerts
Doing
yelling it.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh yeah, I heard that."
Yeah.
So
But if
but-
they do that at a Drake concert, it'd be wild.
we don't want to hear you say.
But it was hilarious.
Yeah. That last verse of Euphoria
Yeah.
when he hit him with the Canadian slang Crody. No, Crody. I be at New Hope King with the fried rice with the dip sauce. Crody.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, he's just really.
He's going deeper in on his level that if you're because you being an American, you wouldn't just know that. You have to you have to look
You
that
gotta
up.
know.
But you know he's from Canada.
Yep.
So he knows what it is. Yeah, again, we just go back. Kendrick writes in layers, man, and you gotta peel that. You
Yeah.
gotta peel that back. He's this generation's my favorite rapper. This generation, Drake's never been my cup of tea.
Yeah. And that's fine.
With that said, I do like Drake's hits.
Yeah.
But because it's radio.
They're undeniable.
Yeah, and it's
So-
good radio music.
So in my opinion, so it's like, all right. You asked me why am I championing Drake? The reason why I champion Drake is because one, J. Cole bowed out because he did that.
J. Cole could never start a beef with anybody else for the rest of my life.
He could start a beef with Kanye.
They're gonna Kanye would devour him.
I wouldn't agree.
Really?
I don't
That's
agree.
interesting. I think so. Even
He made a diss song about Kanye.
I think current day Kanye could still beat him, and not only that, but after you apologize to somebody, that's all anybody ever has to say about you.
That's true. That's true. So
That's gonna be the go-to line for everybody.
so all right. So right now,
but he's still a good rapper.
the reason why I'm championing Drake is because if you're already the king,
You're supposed to be a king.
you're supposed to be a king, and you gotta.
It's hard to argue his success.
You gotta. Yeah. It's what he said. You mad that I'm lit now? I gotta hike down from the top of the mountain just to have this talk with you now. Like something he said, something about hiking down. But I mean, this is what happens in hip hop. And just a brief history lesson if y'all don't know. I'm drunk, but if
We
I'm
are
gonna
the drunken idiots.
if I'm gonna remember anything, I'm gonna remember in the 80s it was Busy B and Cool Mo D. And that's when the battle was who could rock the crowd better. Very similar to what these Jamaican dance hall artists do now. Then it was Kumo D and
And I'm old.
LL Cool J.
I am old.
Kumo D and LL Cool J. LL Cool J.
LL is one of. We gotta do a list of the most underrated rappers of all time. LL Cool J's got to be on that list.
Yep. LL Cool J and Kumo D.
Why is there a fly in my
And
room?
then after LL Cool J and Kumo D, I would say what it was Ice Cube versus
NWA.
NWA.
Mhm.
And then we had
Then the East Coast, West Coast stuff.
Yeah, Biggie and Pac,
Yeah.
Jay-Z and Nas,
Yeah.
50 Ja Rule.
Vanilla Ice and Suge Knight.
Yeah. 50 versus Ja Rule was crazy though.
They hung Vanilla Ice by his ankles in the hotel room for the property for the rights to Ice Ice Baby, which he then still had to give to Queen. Imagine. he
That was
didn't get a
crazy.
penny off of that. Here's a fun fact for you. Go look up the most downloaded rap song of all time. It is Ice Ice Baby.
I believe it.
He's making money off of it now.
I believe it.
Yeah.
50 and Ja Rule, that beef was crazy because it was so one-sided.
Yeah, that was
he ended someone's career.
Because Ja Rule was. People forget how popular Ja Rule was with Ashanti.
He was very popular.
He was over with everybody. He had hits upon hits. He couldn't miss. And 50 killed his whole career. It wasn't even close. When 50 came out, it was the end of Ja Rule, period.
Yeah. So I heard a take on I was online, I was watching DJ Academics, his live stream. And Charlemagne the God called in. And Charlemagne the God had a take on Ja Rule and the 50 Cent beef.
Yeah.
And he said if Ja Rule would have stayed,
I don't know where that flag came from.
He said if Ja Rule would have stayed in his lane and would have made a hit song dissing 50.
Yeah. He could have mitigated some of that damage.
He probably could have, it would have helped instead of waiting and then coming back with clapback.
Because Ja Rule really did change. So I'm going to say this. Once Ja Rule was doing the yo lips, yo thighs, it was hard to be hood after that.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard because 50 came out with his first album, and there was nothing soft about that album. And it was hard for Ja Rule to go
21
back.
questions.
Yeah.
But you're talking about, but you mean the mixtapes though? It's mixtapes was.
It's hard for Ja Rule to go back to the guy who was a hood rapper.
Yeah.
When he was singing on his tracks with Ashanti. And don't get me wrong, those were all amazing hits. But that's what he became known for after that. He couldn't, I mean, you want me to tell you, like, he couldn't even face up to dudes like DMX was killing it. He was probably in that time, it was DMX and 50 were probably the most hood, gangsta. The only other gangsta dude that could get away with singing was Nelly.
Yeah.
That was it. And because he had that southern style. But
Ja
Rule was done. He was cooked.
I'm on a tangent, but you ever seen the video with
yeah, we're way off topic. But
you seen the video with DMX talking about how like their tour bus broke down and it was him, Ja Rule, and I don't know who the third guy is. Maybe like Exhibit or somebody.
Okay.
They
Another
were all
dude that fell off.
They were all in the car and they was hitchhiking. They got picked up and the girl that picked them up was just like, "Oh, DMX, I love you. I love everything about you, but like I heard some song on the radio and some dude, he sounds just like you and it's like da 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 da. He's not whatever."
Yeah.
And it was Ja Rule because
copying DMX's style.
Copying DMX's style.
It was the hard.
And DMX was like, "Bro,
yeah, what are you doing? Right in my face.
It's not just me.
Yeah,
this is as random as it could get.
Yeah, just some random.
Our hitchhiker picks us up, and she's telling me that she don't like you, who's copying my style and my flow. So, yeah,
Ja was he was trying to get back on, and he was on the way down at that point.
Yeah, so
99 2000 probably DMX's biggest years ever.
I think he dropped 2 platinum albums that one year.
Back to back.
In 1 year.
Yeah, back to back. And they were, I mean, just hit after hit. You could we're going on a tangent of
it's a tangent.
25 years ago, but goddamn those albums were good.
So 25. Fuck.
Yeah,
so yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, I'm excited for this hip hop beef. Kendrick's new song is another.
I think for somebody's
Power
popularity
jab.
as big as Drake is as an artist, because let's be real, Kendrick is known amongst hip hop fans.
Yep.
But Drake has a worldwide audience. He's known everywhere.
Yep.
So if you're gonna go for a popularity contest,
Drake will win.
Yeah, Drake's gonna win. No question about it. But when you look at what Drake dropped wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't bad.
Oh, so boom. So I was gonna say Push-Ups was the 8. Euphoria. So Push-Ups was the 8. Then Drake dropped the Tupac Biggie thing. Mm-hmm. I thought that was also an 8.
8. I
think Euphoria from Kendrick was a 8.5.
8.5 out of 10.
Oh, excuse me. And then I think the new song he dropped, that shit was hard. I ain't gonna lie. I give that a 9.
Oh, you like it
that
more.
Boy good.
And I would swap it.
That boy good.
I'm gonna find the gift for that part here. That boy good. He good. Man, I agree. I would just for me Euphoria and that 8.5 and 9. But that's nitpicking, right? Because they're both great tracks. Drake has his hands full. The skit that you showed me, it was like, I agree with that skit. It was like the only way that you can.
They passed him the gun.
Now it was you gotta shoot this.
2 a.m. in L.A.
We at Starts Like Media do not condone violence.
We do not condone violence, bullying,
but
and
in a
assault.
hypothetical situation, if you were in a hip hop beef, the only thing that will settle this score at this point in time is perhaps an old-fashioned Wild Wild West standard 10 paces turn around and shoot.
Okay. So
do you agree?
I disagree. I disagree.
Because the 90s beef was different.
Yeah, 90s was different.
But that's how it would have been settled back in the day.
So my thoughts is
I don't want nobody to get hurt.
I don't want nobody to get hurt either.
Yeah, we don't need
but if we're gonna bring this back to boxing, I think Drake definitely this next song will need to be a haymaker. So if we're going back to the boxing reference, I think Euphoria. No, not Euphoria. It started with Like That was maybe I say Like That was a power jab. And then Push-Ups was a jab. And then the Tupac Biggie AI was another jab. And Euphoria was a power jab. And the last song he just dropped to me was like a jab. So I think Drake is kind of down. So Drake needs a haymaker right now. He needs a mollywop of a song.
Yeah. Anything less than Euphoria is unacceptable.
He needs a mollywop.
Here's the thing. Obviously, Drake can pay anyone to help him get to where he needs to get as far as the next song. Before I forget, because we are the Drunken Idiots, shout out to Chris for his birthday gift for me again. I know I shouted this out last time. This Maker's Mark Cask Strength Whiskey currently is at about a half a bottle. About a half a bottle, right? And I haven't been this lit in quite a while. So thank you, sir, for getting me this extra strong whiskey.
You're welcome, man. Expand your palate, man.
Not just the palate, but the strength. The strength. This has. I'm not done with my glass, sir. And you've seen me down a whole glass of this. And I've slurred my words and all that, but I'm at a good place.
So, all right. So when it comes to
Drunken Idiots,
but this is a question for later on.
Sure.
So answer this later on.
Okay.
So
I can answer it now.
You could probably yeah. So how did you feel waking up after?
Okay.
Compared to the Jack.
Okay. So with that said, I am really good about not getting hangovers because I discovered the trick for those of you guys out there. So alcohol makes you dehydrated, and that's what is the major cause of a hangover. So what you do before bed is you drink a lot of water.
Mhm.
You will get up to pee a lot, but you drink a lot of water and you take 2 Tylenols or 2 aspirins if you have them, and you will wake up without a hangover because you are hydrated and the aspirin takes care of any headaches.
Okay.
So, I don't know is the right
Okay.
answer.
All right.
But
Thank
if
you.
those of you out there, hydrate before you go to bed, drink a couple of Tylenols or aspirin, and you will be okay in the morning.
All right. So thank you.
Remember that day and we went to Medellin last year? And remember that day that I flooded the entire apartment? Well, for those that don't know, I flooded an entire apartment, and I woke up the next day
Yeah.
fine, and I shouldn't have.
Yeah. That was because of your remedy.
It's my remedy.
So
But I am lit right now, and thank you. That's all on you. Buddy.
So I'd say like
cheers to all you guys.
The reason why I like the Remy, the 1738, is because it's smooth. If we were to order pizza right now, right?
Which we should.
I won't have a heartburn effect or anything like that. It's just all smooth.
Okay.
And when the liquor is out my blood system or whatever, I'm back to feeling normal. I'm not tired. I'm not groggy. I'm not aggy or anything like that. I was trying to grab a liquor, a bourbon or a whiskey that you would like.
Well, this is both a bourbon because all whiskeys are bourbon.
Is a bourbon. Yeah. So I was trying to grab something that you would potentially like.
You did a good job.
Okay, thank you.
And it was my birthday gift, and it's still around. And the best part about it is that it's a much smaller bottle than I'm used to having.
Yep.
And as you can see, it takes a lot less of it.
Yep.
For me to get to where I need to go, because this is about
it's the quality over quantity.
Yeah, and not only that, but the alcohol content is literally double.
That too.
It's literally double, almost double. Yeah, so 38% for Jack, 55% for alcohol content on the market.
But you said it's sweeter. Market. Pause.
It is a little sweeter, but
so to make it sweeter,
I think it's only sweeter because of the strength. To be honest with you, like it's probably aged longer.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm making this up as I go along. But the fact that it's 110 proof, in my opinion, is probably aged longer, and so it's a little sweeter. It's a little bit more intense on the back end of things. But with that said, it's stronger, so it gets you to where you got to go a half. You don't need to drink 2 glasses. One will get you to where you got to go. So for me, as I built the resistance over the last, I don't know, year or so.
So what I'm trying to say is
3 shots, 4 shots.
So what I'm trying to say is, try it without the Advil and the extra water.
Be hungover, man.
But you may not be hungover. Experiment because it's like, for me, good alcohol,
In your experience,
good alcohol or quality alcohol
would not get you a hangover.
Would not give you a hangover.
That might be true. I think that bourbon, I think that you're screwed because bourbon in general is just, it's aged in a wood barrel and you're probably on the other end of a hangover. Okay. You like to drink champagne or classy champagne.
Well, cognac is
cognac is a champagne, right? Am I wrong?
Technically, you are right.
Yeah, I think it's like a nice champagne. Like it's a heavy duty liquor, but it's technically a champagne.
Yeah.
And only in Cognac, France, are they allowed to make it.
Only in Cognac, France, they're allowed to call it cognac.
Right.
Anywhere else, it'd be a brandy.
Now, a high quality brandy, a high quality brandy is made in Cognac, France.
Yeah.
We said all of that to get onto our next subject. Now, before we transition, right? Because this is gonna be like our traditional length podcast. But where do you guys fall on the beef between Drake?
Oh, yeah. Are you team Drake? Kendrick? Are you team Kendrick?
Please leave a comment We are really interested to see what you guys think. The next part of our podcast is the last part of our podcast. We're not gonna do a list. We're gonna. I just want to announce something before we move on to the X-Men portion.
Oh, what's that?
All right. So if anybody watched the last episode that I published on our YouTube channel, is kind of like a test of where we're gonna go moving forward with our list segment. I know that the most watched segment of our podcast, is our gaming lists.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do going forward, hopefully, is we're gonna do a list of games, and he'll list, for example, just as an example, maybe in the future we'll change this, but we'll do like our Genesis top 10 list, right?
Yeah.
And you'll provide 5 of your favorite all-time Sega Genesis games. I'll provide 5 of mine, and it'll be very like similar as far as breaking it down. And we're gonna have a special gaming podcast, and then we'll have our regular media podcast after that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be breaking it down a little bit different, gaming and just general media, which is music, and whatever is popular in our
And
genres.
guys, to get you all amped and excited about this,
Yes.
for the games that I like, the first 3 games that I will review and talk about, I mean, obviously it's gonna be Call of Duty because I'm a Call of Duty go.
Okay, yeah.
So you'll have my gameplay, me just wrecking,
going
and
in.
just
Going in.
pause.
All right, so maybe this is on the fly, as we are both the drunken idiots. This may or may not change, but our next episode for reviews, we're gonna put on a reviews playlist, will be like a shooters episode, a top 10 shooters of all time. He will do 5 of his greatest shooters. I will do 5 of my greatest shooters. And if they coincide, we'll collaborate and we'll record that, and you guys let us know what you guys want to see as well, and leave the comments. Now, we're still not gonna abandon the Drunken Idiots podcast because we enjoy doing it, and it is what it is. The next portion of the podcast is the final portion is gonna be X-Men 97.
Yo, X-Men 97. So I'm gonna just say this. I was a firm believer that Invincible was the
greatest
animated show out right now.
Yeah.
And X-Men right now has me. It's like
I think
it's
virtual,
great.
I think it's a virtual tie at this point.
Yeah, it's I hope they could stick the landing.
So far,
it's been great.
Even the weakest episode was the Jubilee episode, and even that,
and the Storm episode,
I was okay with that. It was the Storm episode
before she got her powers.
Yeah, but that was still better than.
Yeah, it was still.
Even as a very weak episode, the Jubilee episode to me was fun because it was just 16 bits, nostalgia, Super Nintendo stuff.
Yeah.
But we're talking episode 1 through 8 at this point. This show has been more than I ever expected.
Oh, I agree. 100%. I agree 100%.
I could not be happier with a reboot. I've seen like the Disney Plus and the Netflix Boy Meets World reboot, the what was the Full House reboot.
When it comes to that. So in my opinion, when it comes to reboots, this is probably one of the best.
No. It is the best, in my opinion. It is the best reboot because it literally feels, maybe rose tinted glasses as a child, but I feel like this hasn't missed a step from the old series.
No.
And not only that, but you provided me a list of shows that I should watch before the series finale.
Yep.
And
I definitely did that.
And before I even watched the shows, I remembered those episodes because they were pivotal.
Yep.
So X-Men 97, man. We haven't reviewed the last 2 episodes. But yeah, let me know what you have thought over the last couple episodes. Cuz X-Men has been great. Tony the Tiger great.
I think the last time we reviewed it was when Storm got her powers back, and I thought that was great. She got her little black suit. Her stomach is out.
We got the 1970s like X-Men outfit.
Yeah, she got her stomach out. I thought it looked good. Look good. So after that,
we love us some Storm.
After that episode, I think it was the Charles Xavier episode where he's on the Shi'ar planet.
Yeah, we haven't reviewed that. So big reveal. Charles Xavier is alive.
Yes.
Which anybody out there knew that. Come on, man. Professor X ain't dead. But seeing him having to renounce his X-Men.
Yeah.
And all of that, and he had like a conundrum. He couldn't let go his loyalty to Jean and, let's be real, Jean and Scott primarily.
Yeah.
Those are his first class.
That's his favorites.
Yeah, they're his first class, and they're still there. And Beast.
Mm-hmm.
They're still there. They're still leading the way. They're still, doing the Professor X thing. But he, as we know from the beginning of the season, left the X-Men to Magneto. So we know now Magneto is captured.
Yep.
He's being closely shaved by one of his enemies.
Yeah, it's
a little homoerotic.
Yeah, it's a little too sassy for me.
But they quickly move on from that scene where Magneto is being shaved. But to be fair, it also sets a little bit of because if you were to be shaved with a sharp razor
now we know
blade,
that Magneto's alive. And
Magneto's not dead. He didn't die during
if you're being shaved by a single blade razor,
it's a little threatening.
Yeah.
It's not really about being shaved so much as you're no longer in control of being who you are.
Yeah.
He's got one of those collars on.
Yep.
So Magneto has no powers at this point.
Yep.
It's a little threatening. Magneto being now the guy who's in charge of the X-Men, who's trying to lead Charles Xavier's dream. He's trying to relive everything.
And by God, he's trying.
Nobody has shown loyalty to Xavier to this degree than Magneto has at this point. Because we all know he does not like humans.
He don't give a fuck. Magneto don't care.
He don't. But because his boy, like let me tell you, man, like if
I'm shaking my head because
if it was you and me,
yeah,
like, and you left me everything you own and you were like, yo, live out my dream, god damn, I would try it. You know what I'm saying?
You would try that first time, but
I would do it to the best of my ability.
When the UN Council gets stormed and I'm at court and niggas trying to kill you,
and I got a razor blade stuck to my neck,
and niggas trying to kill you, you gonna be like, man, fuck this shit, man.
Fuck your dream.
And I would do the same because we're friends.
Halfway through the season, when Magneto takes over the group, right? Because we're friends, I'm gonna do what Chris wanted me to do. This is his dream. Damn, he left it off for me, man. Like, I gotta do what my boy wanted me to do. And then here I am, 5 episodes later with a razor blade. With a razor blade stuck to my neck.
It's so fucked up.
And I'm wearing underwear. I'm not wearing anything else.
It's so fucked up. So now it no spoilers, but
no spoilers.
Okay, so the
spoiler alert to those who haven't watched the season. You should watch it by now.
So the spoilers is Magneto was right. He knew what humans would do, and he lived through it, and he got all the he knows. And so what does he? So the girl from the UN lets him out, who I think is Mystique.
Ooh, maybe we'll find out.
I think the girl is Mystique.
Maybe we'll find out.
Because if she was really a human, she wouldn't have
be so
let
sympathetic
to Magneto. And maybe, but
and we all know over the years, Mystique, even in the comics, has been very much in line with Magneto.
yeah. So I think that like the girl who let him out,
regardless of who she is, at this point she lets him out.
She lets him out, and
she sympathizes with him. She's like a UN representative.
Yeah, she's a UN. Yeah, but Magneto get out. Oh, excuse me. He get out. He go right to the poles, the Earth polar. He could have been North or South Pole, whatever. And he lets off an EMP, and he saves the day. He's a hero. And
I mean, yeah, he's a hero.
For me, in my opinion, I'm like, damn, he's a hero. He just said, left that, fuck the clothes. I'm going straight to the North Pole, cold as fuck, shriveled up, and I'm just gonna just cause everything to drop. And I think that what he did was, I understand it, but I think that Bastion wanted Magneto to get out to cause.
I don't want to give anything away. I know you're not a huge comics guy, but go on. But I like to hear what you think.
So I think Bastion let Magneto out to cause the EMP, to say, look, this is what he did. So now when Magneto did the whole EMP thing,
which was incredible. It was Magneto flies up to like the North Pole, for those of you out there who don't know, and he uses the Earth's magnetic field to set off. You know how badass? You know how much power you have to the entire
God tier.
Yeah, the entire planet's magnetic field to set off an electronic magnetic pulse, shut down all humans. But let's say the reason why he did that, well, we're skipping a lot.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Humans have now been enlisted to become Sentinels.
Yeah.
And a lot of X-Men, or a lot of mutants in general, are now being hunted by people who have been infected with a virus that turns them into Sentinels, human Sentinels. So they're a hybrid of humans / Sentinels, and they can absorb and learn all of your mutant abilities when you fire at them. So here's the thing: when one absorbs your mutant ability and you fire at them and they die, the next one, because they're a collective, remembers that mutant ability and he absorbs that, and now he's no longer affected by that. Now, the fact that all these humans are becoming Sentinels because Boulevard Trask became the prime Sentinel.
Yep.
We get our first cue, which is Cable. Cable becomes, if you guys watched the original X-Men series, Bishop was the guy from the future.
Yep.
Kind of warning the guys.
Yep.
Cable is now that guy.
Yep.
So Cable comes back and he's like, hey, yo, we gotta get rid of these prime Sentinels.
So my thoughts about Cable is, I think that Cable being affected by the
virus,
that virus is Mr. Sinister's way of having a fail safe.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Mr. Sinister's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Because he's the one who got Cable.
That whole episode 9 was just crazy.
There's so much.
We
talked about Kendrick's layers earlier in this episode. This episode had layers.
And I think I really wish and I hope that they stick the landing, because if I gave Invincible a 10 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10, or even if I even scored it, I would still give it a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
and how X-Men is going right now,
Yeah.
X-Men 97,
Yeah.
it's looking like it's about
Right
the
up
same.
there. With less violence.
With less violence. Yeah.
So, like, Invincible reaches those levels with me because of how adult it is.
Yeah.
Whereas X-Men reaches those levels with me because of the storytelling. The stuff that's going on with characters that I grew up with, maybe it, again, we talked about this a little bit. It's rose tinted glasses, perhaps. But the X-Men have like an established line where either in movies or in especially in the series, we got a very PG version of the X-Men. This is the first time we're seeing them facing like execution.
Yeah.
We're seeing them like, yo, like the X-Men are done.
Boom. So all right. So
we got
you had
cameos too.
So
we got a few cameos.
Yeah, you had a take. Your take was Cable was gonna come back the next episode.
Yeah,
and reverse everything.
It sounds like Cable is a major part of the X-Men at this point.
And he hasn't done that yet.
It sounds like everything he's tried has failed as of this point.
Yeah.
Last time we talked about Cable, everything he's tried, and even up to this episode, he's tried to go back to like the line where like the explosions happen in Genosha. And that's failed.
So I'll mention this one in particular because I know you're trying to say your face.
No, I don't know.
You mentioned that Gambit was going to be back.
I know all of them are going to be back.
Okay.
They're going to revert.
Okay. All right. So don't spoil it for me.
Sure.
All right. So
I'm not going to spoil it.
So you already spoiled it.
My bad.
Fuck.
Pause. But we did say spoiler alert at the very beginning of the episode for all of you guys out there.
Wow. So
Chris is not a huge comic book reader. He does follow the series. He does follow the MCU. He's not like one of those guys who's not like oblivious to what's gonna happen. But I do know he doesn't read comic books in that sense. And I don't blame him because do you know how many alternate universes and Earths got him. You know how many alternate universes and Earths and MCU and universes? It's hard to keep track, and I get it. But I think personally, I think I know where they're going with this because of where they are in the timeline with Cable. Cable is very specific. There's not many comics to base off of Cable, so if you ever follow Cable's timeline, you kind of maybe know where this is going.
Yeah, so story-wise, I think it's a great story.
Yeah.
I'm happy with where they're going.
I could be wrong because at this point we don't know. Season 2 is coming right
I'm happy with the story, and X-Men is if I told you that you must watch Invincible, then you must watch X-Men because
well, you got me back onto Invincible. You did, and
this is one of the greatest. X-Men 97 is one of the greatest animated shows that is out right now.
I agree,
and
it's an A if you want. So far, it's an A.
If we had to put the two together, put them two together like you know a battle.
It's
which
close.
One is better?
It's close.
They're both close, and I'm hoping that competition
creates better products.
Yeah,
kind of like the WWF and WCW back in the late 90s.
Yeah,
I don't disagree. I like where your mindset is. I don't think here's a beautiful part of this. I think that X-Men 97 has, because the first and second season are already written.
Yep.
We are very solid into what we can expect for the second season.
It's the same thing with Invincible because they're just going off the story that was already portrayed.
Done. Yeah. So we are good for foreseeable future, what happens after season 2 with X-Men 97? We don't know.
Yep.
Will Disney perhaps I'm gonna say before we move on, and we're gonna wrap this up very shortly.
So Disney put money into the fight scenes for the X-Men, which was unheard of before.
Right.
The fight scenes that we've seen and
So
that we
far,
experienced so far,
yeah.
it's not the same from when it was back in 95, 96
No,
or
and we can
97.
tell that this is definitely like a subscription service.
Yeah.
We can tell that this is not
It's the
available for
difference.
just kids.
It's they got money into this.
We know that. Yeah, exactly. This is made for our generation. What I want to say too is now they've gotten rid of the head writer, the head guy who was in charge of the 97 series, who we were all so scared,
Worried about.
Yeah, the guy that we were most worried about. Now, that's not to say that we haven't seen some woke moments. I did see the part where Professor Xavier was like chastising colonization and
Yep.
chastising people from,
Yeah,
being the most dominant
he was
species in
he was
the
against
universe.
imperialism.
Yeah, and I get that, and it makes sense. But here's the thing about X-Men, guys. It's always been that.
It's always been about that.
It's always been about that. The most like progressive, the most extreme, what you thought was extreme at the time, it was about that since the very beginning.
Yeah, it's like it's woke and it's anti-woke at the same time because it's always been about being woke.
It's always been about being woke. Let's be real.
Yeah, and
But
they went
I'm not
about doing
against that.
they went about doing things in an anti-woke way.
I'm not against it if it's told in a very, very good storytelling way. And so far, man, X-Men 97, you guys got me.
They on the right track.
You guys got Disney Plus. You guys got me.
They on the
Bob
right track.
Iger, you guys need to. And the irony of all of this is that the guy that was in charge of all of this is no longer at Disney.
longer there.
No longer there. So God knows what's gonna happen with season 3 because we all know it's gonna get picked up because 1 is amazing. Season 1 is amazing. So far, if I have to grade it, it is an A or A plus. If you want to grade it, it is a 9 out of 10. It's damn near perfect if it wasn't for that Jubilee episode.
I'm not gonna grade it because as a Game of Thrones fan or stan, the last season they didn't stick the last season.
They sure as hell didn't.
And I'm gonna hold out for my grade until
it's season 1.
You're already saying your score for season 1.
I think we got 1 episode left.
Yeah, but I could go wrong in 1 episode.
It's gonna be hard to F this up.
I've seen a lot go. Sopranos, Game of Thrones.
No, Soprano was great.
But
yeah, Game of Thrones. The last season was.
A lot can go wrong on the last episode. So
yeah, I think we got.
I'm just gonna hold out.
That's fair. But I think from what I've seen so far, we got a very solid season 1 and 2 coming up against.
Yeah, I would agree. So far, it's great. It's
season
great.
1 and 2.
You need to watch that.
I think we have a very good chance of season 2 being amazing.
You need to watch that. It's a great show.
Yes, I agree.
For all the people who's thinking like, all right, this is this is an animated show. It's like, man, listen. If you want good storytelling and you like superheroes,
if you ever watched the original X-Men, even one or 2 episodes, this is your cup of tea. If you watch the original X-Men movies, this is still right up there.
Yep.
Listen, if you like Marvel, if you like X-Men, if you like Invincible, you're not going to go wrong with watching X-Men 97. I like it so far. It's an A grade for me. We are still waiting on the last episode, but we are approaching that very soon. We are now what I think episode 8 out of 10. I think there's only a couple of more episodes left. But yeah,
I think it's one more episode.
yeah.
But listen, hey guys, we love you. We thank you for liking, subscribing. We like your views.
We're trying to get to 1,500 subscribers, man. We are at 1,400, right at that line, 1,402, 1,300 subscribers. So if we can get to 1,500, that's the plan for the year. So if we can get to 1,500 subscribers, we really appreciate you guys. Drunken Idiots, Star Flag Media. We will still be uploading, videos whenever we can. We will still be doing music, movies, video games,
Pop culture.
Pop culture, everything that has to do with media. Just check us out here at this channel. If you want to know anything in particular or want us to cover a subject that you're interested in, leave a comment down below. Like, share, subscribe. We are the Drunken Idiots. I'm Anthony. He is Chris.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us. See you guys next week.
Deuces.